Hi, this is Rob Moran from Civation here today with Mark Lobliner, president of Civation, and we're going to talk you through Mark's most recent chest and tricep training day. Mark, say hi to our internet audience out there.
What is up, everyone?
Okay, well, we're going to start this out. Mark, if you could just talk us through a couple of exercises. It looks like you went with flat bench barbell first. Is there any reason why?
Well, actually, what wasn't shown in this video is I've lately, since my pec tear 2 years ago, I start out with flies. Start out with a nice light set of 15, go a little heavier for 12 to 15, then a little heavier for 12 to 15. Usually 3 sets, just to really warm up, make sure my joints are warm, make sure my muscles are warm. Last thing I'll do is a torn pec. I partially tore my pec. What I've found is that to do flat bench, I should warm up very thoroughly, and I think dumbbell flies or pec deck do that for me. Now, as far as pec tears goes, the healing went fine. But the reason I'm still doing flat bench, I took off of it for a couple years, and I brought it back. Why? My best growth, best results were from flat bench. So no matter what people say, call it bro science, call it whatever, I still think flat bench is, if done like a bodybuilder, not a power lifter, the most effective chest exercise, period, for mass.
Yeah, that actually, you bring up a really good point about your pec tear. How did you do it, first of all?
I've done it before. I've done 405 before. I did my warm-up sets. I didn't do anything before bench, and that's where I think the error was. Did a 135, which is a 45-pounder on each side. Did 15. Did 225, 315, 365. I got 8 of those. Next logical step is 4 plates, right?
Yeah, that's
4
where
plates.
you would go.
First rep, brought it down, heard a pop, dude lifted it off me, and that was the end of chest day.
So, I mean, at the time, did you know it? Did you wake up the next day and see any swelling or blood pooling or anything like that?
You know when you tear a pec. You hear it, and you feel it, and the thing, it swells up right away. Luckily for me, it wasn't as bad as, let's say, Lane Norton's. His was very painful, required surgery. Mine, I used a Graston technique. Which is, there are certain Graston certified people. It's a form of deep tissue massage, and there's now no noticeable indent in my chest.
It's pretty obvious that there's no noticeable indent. It seems that anybody that knows you, anybody that's seen you anywhere around, obviously chest is a strong point. We saw that just by you working up to, I believe it was 3 1/4 on each side before. And now we're rolling right through the training footage here, and looks like we went to incline dumbbells second exercise, and now we're up to flat bench dumbbell flies.
Yeah, these I like to think of this as my forest exercise. I envision hugging a tree. The heavier you go, obviously your elbows aren't going to sustain having your arms totally straight. I try not to press as much as possible. There's going to be some, but you want to keep your arms as steady as possible. But the heavier you go, again, you're going to tear your bicep if you have 90 pounders in your hand and you go all the way down with it. So you want to keep it as strict as possible. And again, pretend you're hugging a tree. Really focus on that contraction at the top.
Well, and from the looks of the videos here, it looks like you're staying very lean in what anybody would consider probably an off-season. We all know that you competed back at the Arnold Classic as your first nationally qualified show.
Yeah.
I mean, talk a little bit about that experience and how you bucked the trend by not having any sort of post-contest hangover, basically. A lot of us call it, in terms of massive weight gain post-contest.
You know, I've said this many times. The people who go and they have to go out and cheat for a week, they're not in bodybuilding for the right reason. I'm into bodybuilding because I like eating clean. I like training hard. Competition is actually my least favorite part of bodybuilding. But obviously, I think as Kurt Widener once told me, sometimes you just got to go to stage. You just got to bring it to the stage, or else what's the work for? And that's pretty much what I did at the Arnold. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a stepping stone to what I'm doing in 2.5 years, which is right now I'm building up to nationals. My goal, get to a lean 250. Will I hit that? Maybe. Will I try to hit that? Absolutely. And that's through strict diet and training, and that's where Team Civation comes into play. And you know, the diet solution, and again, Derek, who's the genius behind all of our programs that you can follow if you go to civation.com. The genius behind that is I've been eating what he tells me to eat, and all my gains have been lean. Like, oh, you've only gained, I was 195 on stage at the Arnold. Today, in this video, I'm probably 207, 208. You've only gained that much weight since the show. Yeah, but it's all lean mass. I'm as lean as I was on stage, basically. So, yeah, I'm pretty damn happy with what's going on.
Yeah, you are pretty much in striking distance with, you know, just stepping on stage again. It's just a water drop and you're almost there. So, I mean, that's something to be very proud of. A lot of guys just kind of, you know, take that post-contest period of time and really do the wrong things with it. Go off their diets, kind of rebound from where they were before, kind of to make up for all those missed meals they had during the contest period, the pre-contest period, and you know they eventually go off track and kind of undo all the good that they've done by dieting for so long.
Yeah.
But actually, as we go back to the video here, it looks like we're going through some like a drop set of negatives. I think it was.
Honestly, this was your idea. I wasn't too comfortable with your foot between my legs there. It was reminiscent of my old days when I dated. But honestly, I mean, this was a shock to me. I didn't expect it. And this is what I felt the next day. I think this is the exercise I felt. I wasn't ready for that. Well, that was a hell of a friggin' set. Drop sets. I mean, if you have a training partner, throw those in every once in a while. Throw something like that in, some sort of a negative, because again, you know, you can argue all you want about stimulation and positive versus negative. When you get to a certain level of training, it comes down to variety. And I think that just gave my muscles that extra stimulus. You hate to say I felt it the next day, so it works. But you know what? After years of training, sometimes it's good to feel it the next day.
It is. You know, it's good from a mental standpoint as well, because you're not doing the same thing week in and week out. I mean, those of us that train on a consistent basis, you want something new, you want something fresh, you want variety. That is a heck of a change from not doing it. Just going back to those old Weider principles, what everything should be based off of, in my opinion, is those drop sets, negative sets, forced reps, those type of things that really push you beyond that typical place where you would burn out the muscles. Just those forced reps, those reps are the ones that count.
What did Arnold say? I think he said the first 6 reps, that's fine. It's the last reps. That's what builds the muscle. And you know what? We all make fun of it, but it's funny because all the stuff they did back in the day is now being validated by science, such as 3 sets versus 1 set. And if you look at even what Dorian did, look at the drop set, AGS 10 principles, you're doing 1 set, but it's 1 set with like 4 sets in it. Mm-hmm. If you go to complete failure, you're going to do mini sets within your set. So it's actually following a lot of what they did.
So it looks like we're kind of wrapping up the workout here for the most part. It's on the tail end of the chest and triceps day. Looks like we made it to triceps.
This one was hard.
Went with the V-bar press down, and then at the end here, we went a little bit old school with some tricep dips here with, looks like a drop set. We're peeling off the weight as we go, getting as many reps as you can.
Yeah.
And this will basically end our workout here.
Absolutely. This was a hell of a workout. It's something anyone can give a shot if they want. It maybe not beginners, intermediate, advanced. Advanced people can throw in some advanced movements, and you're set. It's just time to grow.
Well, thank you once again for joining us. And for more information on Scivation, please log on to Scivation.com. And for your own customized Team Scivation program that includes diet, training, and supplementation recommendations based upon your goals, log on to www.teamscivation.com.